It's the weekend and you have financial questions that need answering. That can only mean one thing. It's time for Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
Welcome, welcome. It's the Jill on Money Show, the program that tries to take the mystery out of your financial life. I am your host, Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst and certified financial planner. If you've got a financial question, just head to our website, jillonmoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. We'll get your note. Don't forget to let us know if you want to join us live or if you're willing to be on video for our new YouTube show, Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. All right, let's do an email right now to start us off. This is from Tony, who says, "Hi, Jill and Mark. I enjoy your show. I'm 62. My wife is 61. Have been retired for a year and a half. My wife has a pension, which nets out $2,865 per month. Our average spending is, let me round up, $4,100 a month. They've got $126,000 in checking, $248,000 in a credit union, $882,000 in a rollover IRA, almost $300,000 in a Roth IRA. This is funny, Mark, because it's like, I thought the numbers were really low and I see they keep adding up. Mutual funds, they've got another couple hundred. Anyway, they've got a lot of money that is socked away. Now, the question is, when should they claim Social Security? Okay, gang, I really want to bang this home. We have got to stop claiming Social Security early. People have to stop doing that. The only time that I would recommend that someone claim Social Security benefits as early as age 62, which is when you are actually legally able to do that, is if there is a real financial issue or a health issue. When you claim at age 62, you are claiming and taking a permanent reduction in your Social Security benefits. If you wait until your full retirement age, let's just call it 67 at this point. Some people it's a little bit earlier, but if you wait till age 67, you're going to get this great benefit. If someone else is claiming on your record, they're going to get a better benefit. And if you delay until age 70, then you are going to maximize your Social Security benefit. And that Social Security benefit has a cost of living adjustment, and it is not going away. And I truly believe that Americans would be much better off if they could afford to wait until age 70. Okay, let's get back to Tony and his wife. So let's presume we're going to shoot for 8 more years. Where should they take the money to fund the difference between the $4,100 in spending and the $2,800 a month in the pension? Now, normally you might say, let me just take it from my money market. I have it. But they've got a lot of money in this, in a rollover IRA. They've got $882,000 in an IRA rollover. And to some extent, you might say, oh, let me just wait to take that. But no, we're encouraging Tony and his wife to tap that money so that they can they can cover their needs, but they can decrease the amount of money that's in that rollover. Right now, let's see, they're going to have $2,800. I'm just doing quick math. They're in the 12% tax bracket. At the very least, I think that they could afford to even bump up to 22%, but they may even be able to just squeeze in under the 12% bracket with the money they need. They only need, let's say it's probably need about $3,000, $36,000. They might even be able to marry, file, and jointly stay in the 12% tax bracket and use that rollover IRA and pull the money out of that. Pay the tax that's due, either at 12 or 22. I don't really care. Use that to live on. What you're doing is 2 things. One is you're paying tax at a pretty low rate, either 12 or 22, and you are going to be able to wait until age 70 to claim Social Security, and you're going to reduce the amount of money you have to take from your required minimum distributions. I think this is great. I would use that. I would really be very happy to be able to do that and not really move any other money for sure. Okay, let's keep going. This is fun. This is from Betty. Should I pay off a second mortgage? Here's the question. My primary mortgage is paid in full. That's because of rental income. The second property is paid by my sister who lives there. The monthly payment is $550. And then Betty pays an extra $250 towards a second mortgage, which is $80,000. The interest rate is 4.25%. If you can afford to pay it down a little bit extra, 4.25%, right now you're making 5% on a money market account, but if you pay 5, if it's a high yield account, but then when you factor in taxes, I think that it's probably about a push. So if it makes you feel better, that's fine. Otherwise, I don't know. I like preserving my cash. So that's what I would try to do that. All right. You ready for this one, Mark? The subject. Am I paying too much? Hi, Jill and Mark. I absolutely love your show and I listen to it every day. My husband passed away last year. Oh, Nancy. And I've had to have a crash course in finances. Okay, let's see what happened. He left life insurance money to protect my financial future. I want to make sure to be smart with it. We had mostly lived paycheck to paycheck with some savings. Oh my God, a long ALS journey. Oh gosh. And they went through that, and she's very nervous. Right now, there's $1.4 million in a brokerage account, $400,000 in traditional IRA. Okay. She's got a advisor, 1% of assets under management. All right. I mean, look, that's kind of like that's the going rate. You got $1.8 million total. So 1% is pretty much the going rate. But let's hear more about what Nancy says. She says, I try to live frugally. I draw about $2,000 a month from the account, to meet expenses, blah, blah, blah. She says, I have been looking at a list of flat fee advisors put out by a well-known podcaster, and I'm considering going that route. Most of them charge between $8,000 and $10,000. I believe my current advisor is considered active management, and the advisors I've been considering are passive management. They're mostly with Schwab. Is one type of management better than the other? Would it be a mistake for someone like me who doesn't even know much about investing to make this switch? I don't know what info you need, so I'm going to give you everything. 64 years old, Medicare next year, will save me a lot of money. I'm going to have a surcharge for my Social Security, IRMA surcharge. Social Security, $3,100, husband survivor benefit, $2,200, still got a mortgage remaining, $500,000 house. Okay, here's the thing. I believe that if you're not getting more financial planning and handholding from this current advisor, then maybe you need to consider moving. But just to be clear, you've got $1.8 million, right? You may be able to reduce your fee. I just wonder what it is that those folks are going to do. I think having a passive investment structure is really great. I don't have a problem with that. If you can move to $8,000 to $10,000 as a flat fee, it's half of what you're paying now. I think that would be really good, but I still want to know what you're getting for that. It doesn't sound like you really need a ton of overall planning, but you may need more help just in general, learning more about what's happening. If you, like Tony, need some help, just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button. While you're there, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter. It comes out every Friday. It's the Jill on Money Show, and we'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here trying to help you make better financial decisions. If you've got a question, just go to our website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. Now, while you're on the website, you'll see all sorts of free stuff. We've got blogs, we've got podcasts, we've got our new YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. Wherever you go on the site, wherever you're diving into, we will follow you with that little Contact Us button. So if you've got a question, give us a shout. Right now, let's talk to Jimmy, who's on the line from New England.
Well, I reached out and emailed you and Mark, and thank you both for inviting me on. I'm presently retired. I'm 61 years old.
Mm-hmm.
My wife still works. She is 60 as of next week.
Mm-hmm.
And she makes $35,000 a year.
Okay.
I make about $12,000 to $13,000 a year in a part-time gig, just side gig, having fun.
Yep.
I have the buckets that you talk about and other shows talk about. We have the pre-tax bucket, you have the brokerage bucket, and then you have the Roth bucket.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm presently looking at what's the best strategy to attack Roth conversions with that brokerage bucket, but balancing the fact that that brokerage bucket with cash included is what I'm using to live on year to year, in addition to my wife's full-time salary.
Okay. So a couple of questions. Your wife works, you get your health insurance through her?
We do.
And does she plan to work for a bunch more years? What do you think?
She's saying about 3 more years.
Okay. So 3 more years, and then you'll do COBRA and whatever, and you'll get to Medicare, and that'll be that.
Exactly.
Okay. Got it. How much do you guys need to live on in addition to, let's call it 45,000 that you're earning together?
Annually, it's about, on a monthly basis, it is about $11,000 a month.
Okay. No problem. Is that a number that you think is going to be pretty consistent going forward? Do you have like older kids who you're supporting that could be on their own, or anything that you think could change that $11,000 a month number?
Only a couple of one-time events, in the sense of we have the children are all out of college as of this May.
Yay.
But some of them will be getting married and would like to contribute to that as they go along. But we're not supporting them otherwise.
Okay, good. All right. But, you'll have a certain amount of money that we can allocate for those weddings. It'll be too much. It'll never be worth it. I'll promise you that right now. I just got into a fight with a friend of mine where I was yelling at him. And I'm like, why are you spending so much money on this kid's wedding? This is insanity. It's like a house. You've been buying a house for this amount of money. It's crazy what people are spending on weddings. Anyway, I'm sure.
It's true. It's true.
I mean, I don't know. I'm going to stop. I'll get off my soapbox now. Do what you want, as my mother would say. All right. What do we have saved in your pre-tax retirement accounts? What's not been taxed yet?
1.815.
Wow. Good job, man. That's a lot of moolah. And what do you have in brokerage?
I have 400,000 in brokerage and another I'm a little afraid to tell you this, but 425 in cash.
Well, listen, I'm sure you're making 5% on that cash right now, so that's okay.
Yes.
All right, good. Okay. Roth money. Do you have money in a Roth already?
Yes, 521.
That's great. Amazing. Fantastic. Will your wife be entitled to a pension by any chance?
No.
Okay. So is your general game plan that you're living off the brokerage right now, right? And you're pulling out the money that you need to live on to get to that $11,000 a month. What's your game plan on claiming Social Security? Wait till 70?
For me, yes. For my wife, we were thinking 63 when she retires.
What's your Social Security benefit at your age 70?
54,680 annually.
54,000. Okay. So I'm just going to put this as $4,000 a month because basically after you pay taxes on it, that's what it'll end up netting out. Okay. If she were to wait till her full retirement age, not claiming early, what's her full retirement age number? Do you know it?
23,000.
You probably don't need to have her claim early, by the way. So
can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Curious what the point of view on that. The idea was if I wait till 70,
she gets half of yours.
She gets all of mine once I kick the bucket. Not that I like to do that anytime soon, but
I get you. I think still that it still might be better. I mean, are you in good health? I'm sorry, I shouldn't have jumped the gun like that. Are you in decent health, or is there something wrong with you actually?
Not that I know of.
And FYI, she only gets half of yours up until your full retirement age, not up until 70.
Right.
Correct.
So your full retirement age number is how much?
My full retirement was 44,000 a year.
40.
Yes, a year. Yeah.
Okay.
It's another 10,000 if I wait till 70.
I think that she claims. All right. Let me keep going here. So essentially, what we know is let's just say she claimed at 67 for a second and you claim at 70. That, like, obviously once you turn 70, you basically have half of your need taken care of through Social Security, right? We'll do it all in today's dollars just for fun. So what you're doing right now is you're saying, what part of this should I convert in order to reduce my future required minimum distribution, but also that you don't want to soak up all of the liquidity that you have in your brokerage and your cash account, right?
Exactly. That's the balancing act I'm trying to figure out.
I got you. And for the conversion, would it be your desire to convert and stay in the 22% tax bracket or the 24% tax bracket?
The last 2 calendar years I have completed and maxing out the 22%.
Okay. And what did that allow you to take out, 100-ish?
About, yes, 100 or 120, I think, was 1 year. Yeah.
Okay. It's funny because, of course, the account still grows. So you made a little dent, but not a big dent, right?
Right.
Okay. How would you feel if we popped you into 24% for a few years? Would you feel like freaked out about that?
Not freaked out, just, again, the concern being the balance of brokerage cash lasting for a living as well as burning some of it up to pay these taxes.
What if instead of living on the brokerage and the cash, that we lived on the money you pulled out of the pre-tax account and you never converted it? How would you feel about that? In other words, instead of saying I convert 100 grand, what if you took 100 grand out of the pre-tax, paid the tax on it, and lived on it?
And that would help me reduce that RMD in the future, and
correct,
at the same time help reserve my cash and brokerage balance.
Exactly right. How would you feel about that?
I'd feel fine with that. I feel fine either way, to be honest. But I just was wondering. I was worried about drawing down the cash. I
mean, we got a lot of time here. So the question is, should there be a conversion, or should this just be we're whittling away this account, using it, you preserve your brokerage and cash account? I mean, you would have to actually invest some of that cash a little, just in terms of, if we're going to do this, I want that cash invested, because you're not going to receive 5% forever. But we would want some of that money put to work. But you could start pulling money out of that pre-tax account. Again, just staying in your 22%, if you had 100, just pull out as much as will keep you in that 22%, pay the tax that's due. Now you get to your age 70. And of course, the numbers are going to change because you're going to have Social Security. You'll take less money out. I don't know. I like the idea of preserving your cash also. And you already have a bunch of money in Roth. So if I can get you down to $1 million pre-tax from that 1.8, I don't know. That seems to work pretty well without making the decision to convert to the Roth. And by the way, when you have that year of a wedding, you pull out and you pay it to 24% tax bracket. You pull the extra, I don't know how much it's going to be, like 50 grand, 80 grand, whatever. You pull the extra money out that you need and you pay the tax on it. And you don't soak up the brokerage or the cash, because I do think you're going to want that. You're so young, right? And you are going to want to preserve cash. And I do think that, I don't know how the system is going to change between now and the time that your wife retires. But she might say, like, you know what? I'm going to work for another year. We're going to have to pay for health insurance for 4 years, not 2 years. So let's preserve some optionality there. I think that works. If you're contemplating a big change in your life, or maybe a small one, or you just want another set of eyes or ears on your situation, give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button.
.401ks, IRAs, refinancing, she covers it all. Back to Jill on Money with Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, the program that's trying to help you make better financial decisions, or maybe just help give you some guidance or reinforce an idea or a plan that you have. Just give us a holler. Go to JillOnMoney.com. And that's the magic website. It's where all of our content lives. And click the Contact Us button. We'd be delighted to help you out. Okay, while you're on the website, don't forget, check out our service. It's called Jill on Money Live. That is a subscription service. You'll be entitled to 4 quarterly webinars and lots of bonus content. You can check out everything we've done to this point. $35. That's it. Right now, let's talk to Sarah from New York.
Hi, Jill. Hi, Mark. Thank you so much for having me on the show. I'm just a huge fan.
Excellent. So tell us what's going on. Why'd you reach out to us?
Well, you talk a lot about the importance of Roth savings, but I actually wondered when it might not make sense to convert your money to a Roth.
Okay. Tell us, I'm presuming you're not calling for quote unquote a friend. So tell us about you and what's going on, and we can determine whether or not a conversion makes sense. So first of all, Sarah, how old are you?
I am 65 and my husband is also 65.
Okay. And you're both working full time?
He retired this year. I am working full time, thinking of retiring at the end of this year, maybe another year.
Okay.
We'll see.
Very good. Does he receive any pension or any other income from his employment?
He does not, but he worked for the state as a public defender for many years, and we'll get some great health insurance when we both finally do retire.
You don't get a pension for being a public defender?
No, but I get a pension. I have a great pension.
Tell me about your pension. I love Sarah's pension.
So my pension, which I'm eligible to take at 66 in a year, is going to be about $6,000 a month with 100% joint survivorship.
Ooh, that's good. That's very good. Okay. So right now, the game plan is one more year till you get to this pension number, right?
Correct.
What have you guys done in terms of saving? Just in general, like let's do some retirement stuff. So what do you have in retirement assets so far?
So we each have traditional 401ks with about $1 million in each one.
Okay, so $2 million total.
Yeah.
Okay. Any Roth assets in addition to the traditional?
Nothing.
Okay. How about a brokerage or a non-retirement account?
We have a brokerage account with about $600,000, and we have a checking account with about $70,000.
Okay, great. You live in New York City full-time or not?
Full-time for now, but we'll relocate back to a different state as our home base. I'm here right now because I got a really lovely job that I've had for the last 5 years with a really nice salary.
Okay.
But, once I give up that job, I'll move back out of home.
Do you own 2 different places or do you own one and rent somewhere else?
We fully own a house, which is probably worth about $700,000, no mortgage. And then I'm renting in New York.
Okay. Got it. What are you paying rent? Just out of curiosity.
It's a lot. It's so much. It's about $4,000 a month.
That doesn't seem like so much compared to what it could be. I don't know. I mean, it depends what you have, I guess. Are you going between the two, the house and the rental right now? Do you have to travel quite a bit or not really?
Yes, I do. I try to travel, although during COVID, right, I stayed at my home for over a year. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great.
Well.
So when you look at your expenses, forgetting about the rent for right now and the travel back and forth, what do you think you need in terms of retirement? Like we're no longer doing this commuting. We don't have rent. What's it cost to live your lives?
We think $10,000 a month would be lovely with maybe an occasional, little extra.
Okay.
Hoping to travel. So my husband will be eligible for Social Security in a year, and if he takes it at 66, it would be about $2,500 a month, and if he waits until he's 70, it would be about $3,800 a month.
Oh, I like that better, don't you?
I do, and one of the questions is when he should take it. My Social Security, which I think we wait until I'm 70, is about $4,600 a month.
Oh my gosh. So let's just play this out a little bit. So when you're 70 years old, and it's only 5 years away, you have $4,600 a month in your Social Security. He gets $3,800 a month, and you have the $6,000 a month pension, right?
We're in great shape.
You're in great shape. So, okay. Here is how I would think about the traditional versus the idea of converting. If we didn't have a little bit of time here before we had not a lot, but a little bit of time before you could get some of the money out, I might think about converting. But I kind of also feel like right now we have 5 years where we can take some money out of this account. How much is your income right now?
$460,000.
Oh, geez, you screwed me. Okay, so we got to wait a year. So you got to retire. Okay, so when you retire, when you go from 460 to zero, now I have 4 years to get a chunk of money out, right? The amount of money that we could take out is a lot, actually, because let's say you turn 66. Can you delay taking your pension? Does it accrue for more than if you wait, or it is what it is at 66 and you have to take it?
I think it is what it is.
Okay. So here's my game plan. Sarah works for another year. Now her income goes from 460 to zero. But we know that she needs some money, right? We know that there is a need of $10,000 a month. We know that she's going to get $6,000 a month in a pension, but I still want to take a bunch of money out of that retirement, of those pre-tax assets. And when I say a chunk of money, I'm talking like, I think you want to take out like $300,000 a year at age 67, 68, 69, before you claim Social Security. So we're trying to get as much money as we can, basically as close to $1 million as we can out of that traditional environment. That is a very doable goal because, again, we'll have to see where the tax brackets are. But for now, if you can pull money out in the 24% tax bracket, you'll be in very good shape. We'll get back to Sarah in just a second. If you've got a financial question, go to JillOnMoney.com. We'll be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. Before we went to the break, we were on the line with Sarah from New York. Let's get back to her. The question is, that still leaves you with $1 million that's pre-tax. And it still leaves you with this period of time before you have to take your money out in a required minimum distribution. If you're charitably inclined, you can do a QCD, a qualified charitable distribution. Once you're over the age of 70 and a half, you can take some of the money from those retirement accounts. They have to be moved into IRA accounts, but you can send them directly to charity. At the very least, if you got $1 million out by the time you were 70 and a half, I'd be psyched. And you cut that distribution in half, that would be amazing. Hey, I forgot to ask, do you have kids, Sarah?
Yes, I have a daughter who is 33, and we would like to leave her a sizable estate. So one of the questions here, though, is if we're converting to a Roth, obviously we don't have to then take the minimum distribution and the estate grows, but she's still going to be left with a significant amount of money. So kind of why bother? Like, why?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm sort of feeling like I don't really care about the whole Roth thing as much. I feel like you can get the money out. Is she launched, or do you need to help her at all?
Yes, she's an artist and we are helping her, and I think we will have to keep helping her.
How much are you doing in terms of are you gifting her every year? How are you guys handling it?
Well, right now she's unemployed, so we're helping her with rent, so about $2,000 a month.
But are you paying that rent directly?
No.
So, I mean, there's another idea here. Is she okay with money? Like, if you said, here's a bunch of money every year, you manage it, is she okay with that? Or do you think that she needs a little lesson in management of assets?
Doesn't everybody?
Okay, true. But I'm just asking, she's an artist. So I'm used to the flighty artist, but every so often I meet an artist who, upends that silly thought. So what do you think?
She's pretty frugal, but I think we probably would have to, help her a little bit, just kind of get her bearings on it. But I was a little confused when you said, take the money out Are you saying to take it out to convert it to a Roth?
No, I'm just saying you take it out, withdraw it, pay the tax that's
Oh.
due, and live on it.
Oh, okay.
And not so when I say take the money out, let's just say that you have your $6,000 a month, right? You have 72 grand in income. The top of the 24% tax bracket is $384,000. I'm just pretending it's this year. So what you would do is you would essentially say, I don't want to go up into the 32% bracket. So I know I have $72,000 a year of income from my pension. If I just took a distribution of $300,000 from my traditional account or your husband's, doesn't matter, right? If you took the distribution, 300 grand, you just pay the tax that's due. You pay the 24% tax that's due and you keep the money. You throw it in your brokerage account. You've converted it already, essentially. You're doing your own conversion. You're just paying the tax now. And then you do that each year until you guys claim Social Security, which will be at age 70 for both of you. Okay. Once you're claiming Social Security, you can't take as much money out, right? Because your income is increased. We've got the $3,800 a month from him, the $4,600 a month from you. So now you're not going to be able to pull as much money out because you'll pop yourself into the next tax bracket. But you'll be able to pull some out and you don't have to convert. You really don't need to convert. You will have a bunch of money. You've already paid tax on it. It's sitting in a brokerage account. You're fine. Your daughter will inherit all this money. You guys have your estate documents done?
Of course.
Very good. Now, listen, in general, I know that, you're probably not staying on top of this, but, if the money that you want to give to your daughter is getting to be more significant, we do have to pay a little bit attention to the gift tax rule. You're really supposed to give underneath, it's called the annual allowance. You could give $18,000 each to your daughter. Okay. So you can give 36 grand a year to your daughter without worrying about any taxes, which I would do right now. I would just start to say, hey, you need the money now. You're struggling. Here is $3 grand a month that we're going to send you. Just take it. And live on it and let her build it up a little bit. Where does she live? Is she a New York person or is she elsewhere?
She's in Maryland.
And she's renting now. Is she partnered, single?
Single.
Okay. All right. I mean, look, you can help her out and you should help her out. She's your only kid. And she's like, obviously never going to make a gazillion dollars unless she hits it big. But I do think that it would be helpful for her to just sort of know what the numbers are and maybe I don't know if you want to give it to her in the beginning of the year and just say, here's 30 grand or here's $36,000. Dad and I are going to do this every year for as long as we can. You have plenty of money. You have no problems. All we're talking about is being more efficient with your money. That's it. But you're in great shape.
Gosh, thank you so much. This was really, really helpful.
And listen, I think that if you decide to do something different with your money and you want to, if all of a sudden tax rates change or we're under a different regime in terms of planning for taxes, then give us a holler back. But I think generally speaking, you are in really wonderful shape and we're delighted for you. And congratulations, because that's a lot of money you've saved and that's a nice pension. Mark, how's your pension doing?
My self-funded pension is doing okay.
Yeah, that's the one.
I would classify Sarah as another member of the Jillionaires Club.
Yeah, Jillionaire. See, not a millionaire, but a Jillionaire. If you would like to join us on the air live, just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. We'll do everything else. We'll be right back. You're back. It's Jill on Money, the program that attempts to take the mystery out of your financial life. If you have a financial question or if you're contemplating a change in your life, all you need to do is go to our website. That is jillonmoney.com and click the Contact Us button. Don't forget to let us know if you would like to join us on the program. We'll arrange everything, and if you're willing to come on video, we'll arrange that too. Also, on the website, don't forget we've got the subscription to our service called Jill on Money Live. That's where you have access to quarterly live webinars, lots of great bonus content. It's not that expensive, gang. Come on, I wouldn't do that to you. It's $35 right now for the entire year. Amazing, right? And our next webinar is on March 19th, and it is with a very special guest, Cal Newport. He is a best-selling author. He's been on the program before. He's one of the world's top productivity experts. He is going to share his groundbreaking philosophy for creating great work at a sustainable pace. You can only check that out if you join us for Jill on Money Live. All right, let's do an email to close out the hour. This is from Bill, who is 53 years old. He's got 33 years of service at his current job. He says, I am eligible for early retirement this year. I have a pension and a supplemental payment equal to my monthly pension payment until age 62. I also have 2 annuities, and I want to roll them into another qualified account. Should I go with a financial advisor or planner, or would it be best and more cost-effective to put it into a Vanguard or some other account like that? Well, I think you know the answer, that it's more cost-effective to do any of these tasks on your own. But do you need help? How are you with managing your own assets? Do you need financial planning? All of these are questions to ask yourself. But if you feel comfortable doing this on your own, and maybe because you have a pension, the planning work is not as hard as it might be for others, maybe you can do it yourself. You can always try it on your own for a while, and if it doesn't work, then seek the advice of a qualified financial planner. Remember, qualified means someone who has a fiduciary responsibility to you. If you want to know whether you should hire a financial planner, just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and click the Contact Us button, and we'll get your note. We'll be right back.
It's the weekend, and that can only mean one thing. You're listening to Jill on Money, the show that takes the mystery out of your finances. Here's your host, Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we're here trying to help you make better financial decisions. They don't always have to be the best. Sometimes you just need to understand the choices that are in front of you and maybe the upside and downside of each of those choices. That's usually what these conversations are about that we conduct with you. They're not usually so clear-cut. Do this, do that. It's usually more nuanced because you know what? We are all nuanced individuals because we're human beings. If you would like to join us on the air or just send us a question, go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and there will be a form that pops up. You complete it. If you want to join us on the air live, check that box. If you're willing to do video because you want to be on our brand new YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound, then please check that box as well. But of course, we do love your notes however you get them to us, and we do read emails from time to time. So let's start the hour off with this email from Jackie. So Jackie says, Hi, Jill. Before I get to why I wrote you, I wanted to tell you that I recently saw you on The Compound. I love those guys, and you were a welcome addition. I have since started watching your Jill on Money podcast. I enjoy the rational, no-nonsense advice you provide. I hope you can offer me guidance as well. Thank you in advance. This is awesome. Yay! I'm loving this compound, Mark. My husband and I are turning 50 later this year, and we've seriously started to think about retiring at 55. They got 2 kids, so they got 5 more years. The kids are now 16 and 13. Jackie makes $350,000 and says that her income is stable. Her husband is currently unemployed. and our annual expenses are $250,000, including the taxes that they're paying. So she says this leaves us with $100,000 annually for saving, investing into 401k, college 529s, non-retirement accounts, and cash reserves. Okay. She's maxing out her 401k. She will start including the catch-up contribution, $7,500. And as of now, all of the 401k is traditional pre-tax. Beginning in 2024, I plan to start contributing to a Roth 401k. Here's the net worth, $4.2 million. Wow. The house is paid off, no outstanding debt. They've got $340,000 in high yield savings CDs. They have $790,000 in non-retirement brokerage accounts. About a third of the money is in an S&P 500. The remainder is large cap stocks that we've picked over the years, sort of our fun money trading account. $200,000 in 529 accounts. They're still contributing $6,000 to each account. $2.1 million in pre-tax 401ks, about 2/3 in an S&P 500, a third in target date retirement fund, which is 60% stocks, 40% bonds. Why do you need a target date fund? I don't know. Whatever. Okay. $25,000 in rollover Roth IRAs. One home valued at $650,000. 3 cars, $85,000. Term life insurance for both. Okay. You ready for this, Mark? Assuming we remain a single income family for the foreseeable future, is retirement at age 55 reasonable for us? Do you believe we have enough non-retirement assets to bridge us from 55 until we start accessing our retirement accounts? I currently have the family's health insurance through my job. Oof, that's rough. That's a major expense during the bridge time to Medicare. Health insurance would be the main reason we would postpone retirement. Okay, we could also use some help with our risk profile. The majority of our investments are S&P 500. We've never been big fans of bonds, which is one of the reasons we have so much money tied up in short-term cash investments. After seeing how bonds fared during the last market cycle, we're hesitant to throw large sums of money into bond funds. They don't seem to be providing the, quote, safety they have in the past. What asset allocation target would you recommend for us given our age and situation? We've always invested looking for a return, accepting the market fluctuations, with retirement seeming so far off into the future. But now may be the time to start rethinking that theory. Even if that is the case, we're looking at 30 years in retirement. We'll need the return of stocks in the future. If you would recommend bonds or other investment vehicles, what's the most tax-friendly way to go about reallocating our portfolio? Jackie.
I don't know about this plan. They spend a lot of money.
They spend a lot of money is right. So, Jackie, I'm not going to tell you how to spend your money. That's not my thing. But $250,000 is a lot of money. And that says to me, I think it's not just that it's the health insurance, but I think that we need a little bit more time to beef up some of your non-retirement brokerage accounts. Okay. $2 million in pre-tax is fine. And what I would do, first of all, just in allocation terms, you could take the 401k that is 65, it's in S&P 500. Take the 35% that's in a target date fund and start dollar cost averaging or move some of that money into bonds. Everyone has to stop being so afraid of bonds, especially when we're looking at 4.5% from 5% of bond yields. Okay, so
and plus, between the S&P and a target date fund, there's a lot of overlap.
Tons of overlap. You don't need it. So let's start there. That's easy. Okay, when you think about retirement savings, if you look at your $4.2 million. You don't really have $4.2 million because of that 4.2, you got some of this is a house. So take that out. And some of it is cars. Take that out. And what I look at that you have is, and take out the 529 because guess what? That's going to get spent. Here's what you really have. You have I'm going to just write this down for myself. There's 2.1 in pre-tax, right? Pre-tax, there's 340 in cash. There's 790 in brokerage, right? And then there's a little bit, there's 25,000 in a Roth. Okay. So let's just look at that for a second. That's $3 million, right? It's not even 3. It's probably like 2.8 after we pay the tax on the 2.1. So let's even say, if I'm going to just say $3 million, for your $3 million, do you know what you could safely pull out of that account and live on? You could pull, let's say 35 grand per million. Okay. So if you think about that, and you've got $105,000, or maybe it's even more. Let's just give them more, Mark. Let's say it's $125,000. It's only half of what the need is. How are we going to do this, Mark?
Unless there's something she's not telling us, like there's some pensions or a big inheritance that's in the future. I'm not quite sure.
I'm concerned that the idea, I mean, you're right, which is, as you look at a forward and you're thinking about retirement, I think it's great that you are thinking about retirement. I think that you're right when you say I've got decades of retirement to fund, because I think this would really encourage me to encourage you to say 60. And at 60, here's what we're going to know. Let's pretend that, you're continuing to put money away. You've got 10 years to go. We know what the deal is with the kids. Everything's set. But you are going to have to really look at those annual expenses and see if they're really $250. I really need to know, like, net, what are you spending? Is it really $250, or is that like, well, no, it's $250 and it's and it's taxes and it isn't. But like, I want to know what the actual spend is. If you have a financial question, we'd love to hear from you. All you need to do is go to the website, JillOnMoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and let us know if you would like to come on the air. Jill on Money. We'll be right back.
Back to Jill on Money, where Jill Schlesinger helps you take the mystery out of your finances.
You're back. It's Jill on Money, and we are here trying to help you figure out the next best decision for you to make in your lives. Does not have to be the optimized for anyone else. It's you. And that's why we really encourage you to come on the program and join us live, because when we have conversations with you, we will often uncover some really interesting things that are bubbling up. So that's why, even if you're really shy, I know it's hard, just don't worry. Go to JillOnMoney.com. Click the Contact Us button. Let us know what's going on. We'll bring you on the air. We'll change your name. We'll protect you. We really will. While you're on the website, don't forget to sign up for the free weekly newsletter and check it out. Hey, my book, The Great Money Reset, Change Your Work, Change Your Wealth, Change Your Life. Guess what? It's available in paperback, so you can check that out on the website as well. Again, all of our content lives on that website, and that's so important for us because, from my perspective, you don't want to go jumping around and look around for all this different stuff. Everything is right there. The weekly newsletter, which is free, that comes out on Fridays. The book is there. Our subscription service, Jill on Money Live, is there. And we have a link to our brand new YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. Yeah, we're doing video, my friends. We are doing video. And for those of you who are really into investing, or maybe you just have a fun money account, I really encourage you to check out The Compound and Friends, because that is hosted by Josh Brown and Michael Batnick, and they do such a great job in just talking about stocks and investing, and it'll really help you learn a lot more. I know we don't go deep into that on this program, so you should check out their show. Again, that's called The Compound and Friends. All right. Oh, man. Boy, I've been blathering on here, so let's get to you. Let's talk to Mike. He is on the line from the Midwest. Mike, what brings you to the Jill on Money show?
Hello, Jill and Mark.
Hey.
I have been listening daily since the pandemic, so I'm several hundred episodes in, and I love the format, and I feel almost like a CFP apprenticeship throughout this.
Oh, I love that. That's great. That's good. We'll put you to work very shortly. So what's going on for you in your life?
Well, we just did a big, I'll say a dream renovation on our forever home, at least forever excluding the winter months. And so we have built up, I guess, our home equity line of credit we took out to help finance that. So we've got probably 60 to 80,000 on that. And my wife, I'm 57, my wife's 59, and she will be 59 and a half next month. And wondering whether it makes sense to liquidate her IRA, self-directed IRA, to pay down that HELOC is one of my questions.
Okay. Are you working currently, Mike?
Yes.
And how much do you earn?
I'm in the probably 250 to 290.
Okay. I like 290 better, but I'll put the range down. And is your wife still working?
Yes, she's part-time.
And how much does she earn?
I'd say 15 to 20.
Do you guys have a bunch of money in pre-tax assets? So like her IRA, but also your own retirement. Give us a little breakdown on what's going on for retirement assets.
Yeah, I have about 950,000 in my 401k. Most of it's pre-tax. I did switch over to Roth, listening to you guys over the last couple of years. So I have about 35,000 of that's in Roth.
And her IRA?
She has 33,000.
Do you have assets outside of those retirement accounts? Your retirement account through work, your $1 million, her IRA. Anything else that you have either invested or cash outside?
I do have a health savings account that has 30,000, and I'm putting in 8,000 a year into that.
Great.
We had a high interest savings that I've burned through most of it for this renovation, in addition to put the HELOC on. So I'd say we have about 25,000 in emergency savings right now, no brokerage account.
Got it. Okay. How much is this forever dream house worth? You notice how I said that dripping with sarcasm?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably 625 now.
Okay. And so we know we have the HELOC of 60 or 80,000. Is there a primary mortgage on it as well?
Yeah, we owe about 285 at 2.8%.
Okay. And what is the HELOC rate right now?
8%.
Okay. Got it. Forgetting about the renovation itself, what is your monthly spend approximately? Like, what do you figure you need on a monthly basis to live your lives?
I say 8,000 to 9,000 a month.
Will you be entitled to a pension?
No, neither one.
How much longer do you think you want to work? You're so young. This dream house really going to set you back. But how much longer are you going to work?
I'll work till 65.
At least.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way. Do you guys have kids?
They're grown.
They're launched. No, like little, we give her $1,000 a month on the side. None of that?
A little of that, and we're still paying on some student loans that we took out in their name.
Why, they can't pay them?
It's a better rate than the Parent Plus loans that if we took those out back in the day.
Okay. But when you said 8,000 to 9,000 a month, that's inclusive of everything?
Yes, that includes annual vacations that I would divide by 12 to include in that number.
Okay, so I'll say 9,000 a month just because I can. Gosh, 8% is just a real serious number, right? Is the work done, like really done?
Yes.
So why is it 60 to 80,000? What's the outstanding HELOC? Is it 80?
It's higher than that, but I have commissions coming, and I can pay down that pretty quickly.
So net of the commissions coming, what's the outstanding balance? Is it 60 or is it 80, you figure?
I'd say 60.
Okay. So do you get paid commissions on like a quarterly basis or monthly? Like, how does it work?
Monthly.
Do you think, like, just given, you said you gave me a big range for earning, like 250 to 290, right? Do you get a sense of like what this year is going to be and shaping up, or is it really variable month to month?
It's somewhat variable, but I would say I'll probably be closer to the high number there.
That's what I wanted to hear. Thank you. Okay. So here's what I think. Right now, she has some part-time income. If you're at that higher level, you're in the 24% tax bracket, right? It's pretty clear. That's your highest level, right? That it goes up to, let me see. I had this written here for myself, so I knew the new brackets are 24% takes you up to 383,900. So yeah, that's your top bracket. I have no problem with you blowing out of this whole IRA account and paying a chunk down on the HELOC. You're going to pay your taxes and you'll have some money. But let's even just say that after all is said and done, there's 20 grand left that's netted out of this whole transaction, or maybe even 25 grand. I don't know what the state income tax is there, but presumably what I would like you to do is take $20,000 of the proceeds, pay down your HELOC, add whatever remains to the savings. Now, if we can get you down to 40 grand, I feel pretty confident based on what you're telling me that you should be able to pay this off throughout this year, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think my goal would be in no more than 2 years to pay that off. I want to build back up my emergency savings too.
Yeah, maybe you just, every time you get a bonus check, take half of it and add it to savings and half of it and pay down a chunk of the HELOC. That's what I think. Are you maxing out your retirement account right now? Are you putting in the max plus the catch up?
I am not. I've been just doing the up to the match, which is 5%, but we have a pretty nice plan for based on tenure. I've been there over 25 years, so based on tenure and age. So right now I'm putting in about, last year I put in 12, the company put in over 20.
Oh, that's nice. Okay. I think that once you get this paid down, I don't want to be like you've just done a dream renovation. So you've already made your own dreams come true. We'll get back to Mike in just a minute. If you are considering tapping your retirement funds to pay off a home equity line of credit, we want to hear from you. We want to hear from you no matter what. JillOnMoney.com is the website. We'll be right back.
.401ks, IRAs, refinancing, she covers it all. Back to Jill on Money with Jill Schlesinger.
You're back. It's Jill on Money. And before we get back to Mike, who's on the line from the Midwest, I know that we have such an obsession with paying down debt, and not all debt is created equal. If you are really freaked out about your mortgage and that mortgage interest rate is less than 4%, I want to hear from you. We want to help you understand why that may not be the best choice for you. So go to the website, JillOnMoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. Okay, let's get back to Mike. I do think because you did this big renovation, I am not entirely sure whether you're going to be able to retire at 65 or whether it's more like 67 or 68. I think you're going to have to test these numbers. What is your Social Security benefit at your full retirement age and then at age 70? Do you know that?
Yep. Full retirement age is 3,800. Mm-hmm. At 70, it's 4,700.
Are you in good health? Is your wife in good health? You guys pretty okay. I might say wait till you're to claim at 70 if you can. We would have to really be very careful about, whenever you retire. Let's say you retired at 67. Then what I would probably start doing is pull some money out pre-tax, some of that money out, live on it, wait till you're 70 years old, and then start to pull more money out just to, kind of take that money out, live on that till your required minimum distributions. You're going to need them anyway to live on. But I think 70 as a claiming strategy is probably going to be your best bet. So, with Social Security at these levels, it's kind of great. You really do get to probably half to two thirds of what you need. And then you use your retirement account for the rest. But I do think again, dream for dream. Dream might have been to retire at 65. I'm guessing it's more like 67, 68.
Yeah, I think that I would certainly not just stop working. Maybe I'll go work as a paraprofessional for a financial planning firm.
There you
65.
go. Maybe you will, or maybe you'll just keep socking away the money that you're making at this nice place, making $250,000 a year. And now you're going to be pushing towards 300 grand. Like, you're going to be in very good shape. I just think, look, the house thing, spending the money to build something that is like really important to you, I don't think that's a bad idea. I think that's wonderful. I just want you to be clear that making that decision may impact your actual retirement date, and it may not. I just want I want it to be out there on the radar. Do you feel okay about that?
I do.
All right, good. Now, what else do we need to know? Do you have your estate documents done?
We have a will.
Mm-hmm. Does it talk about guardianship so I can understand how old that will is?
No, I actually just updated it. Nothing about guardianship.
Okay, good. And what about a power of attorney and a healthcare proxy?
We do not. And I guess, is that really just dependent on us deceasing at the same time that we'd have to worry about that scenario?
Yes and no. I'll give you an example. You have $1 million in your retirement account. Something bad happens to you where you don't die, but you're incapacitated. Without a durable power of attorney, your wife cannot do anything in that account. So you have to assign her the right to be your agent to do that.
Good to know.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. And the healthcare proxy, I don't know, like just have it down on paper. Yeah. If something happened to you guys, you're driving to your dream house and you drive off the road, God forbid, you die or you become incapacitated, someone's got to pull the plug. One of those kids who don't have college loans has to pull that plug. And you have to just put it down on paper. And, listen, how old are your kids?
26 to 30.
Are they married or single or mix?
Single.
Okay. I mean, there is also maybe some disclosure about like just understanding like who would get what under these circumstances and who's going to be the executor if we were to both pass away together and things like that. But you can get to that. But I do think a healthcare proxy and a durable power of attorney are like 2-page documents. They're easy peasy. Just say to the estate attorney, like, hey, we forgot to do these other documents. Can you bang them out for us? It won't be a lot of money.
Great. I do have a question on life insurance if you have time.
Yeah.
So I have a 500,000 term. It was a 30-year, and it expires in about 4 years on me. Mm-hmm. And I took out, and I have 200,000 through work, so I have 700 on me. I did take out another 500,000 on a 10-year here a couple years ago. Do I need that extra 500? So I'm at 1.2 right now.
No, I don't think so. I mean, is it cheap? I mean, because what happens is often the policy that you might have, the extra insurance that you have might be like the 10-year. How much is that costing you?
I think it's about 60 a month.
60 a month, I'd keep it.
The original one's only 35.
I know. It's short dollars for your wife to really spend enough time to find a better husband than you.
Right.
I think keep it. I mean, I know it's probably a sucker bet, but it is peace of mind. And, you're the primary wage earner. So, really, it's what I'm mostly concerned about is not that you die in 9 years, but if you died in 2 years, I think that having that money will be important for her.
Yep.
Okay.
Good suggestion.
Everything else is good, right? You feel good? What did you do in this dream renovation that again, dripping with sarcasm? Tell me what you did.
Well, we put a patio room on. We live on a lake, so we've got 8-foot all glass views out to the water. We're only about 25 feet from the shoreline.
Is it one of those lakes with a muddy bottom? I don't like those kinds of lakes.
Yes, it is.
Oh, man. Do you have a little boat that you go out on, a little paddle boat or something?
Pontoon.
A little pontoon? See, Mark, I got the whole lake living now. I understand it. All right. Well, listen, enjoy your house and burn off some of your rage at work while you're still there at age 66. Don't blame me for that. Just blame those big glass doors. Thank you so much for getting in touch with us, and let us know if there's anything else we can do. Okay.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
If you have anything going on in your financial life that needs a little coaching, massaging, a second set of ears, eyes, we are here for you. Mark and I are both certified financial planners, so just go to our website, jillonmoney.com, and click the Contact Us button. Now, while you're on the website, you'll see all sorts of free stuff. We've got blogs, we've got podcasts, we've got our new YouTube show called Jill on Money, powered by The Compound. If you've got a question, give us a shout. It's Jill on Money. We will be right back.
Do I invest here? Should I put my money there? Jill Schlesinger can help you. Back to Jill on Money.
Welcome back. It's the Jill on Money Show. This is the program that's trying to help you make better financial decisions. We try to take the mystery out of your financial life, but we try to do this without making money scary or boring. In fact, we try to make it a little bit of fun. You know, it doesn't have to be so daunting. It just doesn't. So if you've got a financial question or something's going on in your life and you need some assistance, Mark and I are here to help. Again, we're both certified financial planners. It's not our business. We're media people, but we love this stuff. So go to our website, jillonmoney.com, click the Contact Us button, and let us know if you would like to come on the air. Mark does everything else because he's so great like that. While you're on the website, don't forget there's so much stuff there. There is the blog section. I write about things that are going on in the world and maybe some events that you'd be caring about, you know, like it is coming on to tax season and we got to be aware of that. We've got the free weekly newsletter. My book is out in paperback, and we have a link so you can subscribe to Jill on Money Live, our subscription service with quarterly live webinars and lots of special bonus video content. Right now, let's get to an email from Allison, who says, "This is not meant to generate hate mail for you, LOL." Yeah, here, that means it will. Allison owns her own business, lots of expenses run through it, hard to nail down expenses, personal versus business. She's 52 years old, has a 16-year-old. She's got her own company, makes $500,000 a year. Out of the $500,000, $110 in wages, $120 in K1. Okay. Bare bones expenses, if I were not working, would be $50,000. That's what I want to know. And don't give me the bare bones. She needs to make like $200,000. She puts her Social Security. She maxes out her retirement. She wants to pay for her kids' college education. That's easy. Wants to pay off her parents' mortgage, $125,000. Wants to be financially secure and physically available to help her parents. She wants to hit her travel bucket list items, $25,000 a year until she's 65. She's only 52. She's got a house. Listen to this, Mark. $2 million house, mortgage, $150,000 at 2.7%. Yowza. Investment property owned with a business partner. She's got life insurance and annuities. This index universal life insurance policy that's got some long-term care. She's been sold a ton of insurance. And then she's got $500,000 in a brokerage account, and then another $700 in retirement accounts, $100,000 in a 529, cash of 50, 100, about 125, 130. Concerned about healthcare costs for me, and will probably pay for my teenager until age 26. Also in the middle of starting 2 passive investment businesses, which may provide income, but want to see if I can achieve these goals. Can she reach her goals? All right. Look, you're 52 years old. This kid is a teenager. You're not going to like blow out of your business and do anything different until we get the kid through school. You're contributing money to our retirement in a big way, also to an HSA. instead of putting the $5,000 a month into your investment account, I would be putting as much money as possible into the 529 for the kid. There's 131,000. Probably need a little bit more than that. It seems like you've been sold a ton of insurance. I don't get that. So I want to know more about how that happened. And is that the same person who's a financial advisor and is managing $500,000? Also, I'm wondering about just the idea of how you're running things through the business and not people. When you own your own business and you're telling me, oh, no, it's an expense of the business. You are the business. This is all the same money. So I want to make sure that we are really understanding what is running through the business that's a business expense, what is really your actual expenses. You don't spend a lot of money. If your bare bones is $50,000, then I should presume that it's more like $100,000 a year, given what you want to do. It seems all fine. You know, I think that if you've got a 16-year-old, that's happening first, right? So we want to make sure that there is money that is going to be put towards this kid's education. And if you have to pull back on your brokerage contributions during college to help with that because the kid goes to a private university, absolutely possible to do that. It seems to me that, like I said, you have a lot of insurance and annuities, which I don't know, I'm never really crazy about, but you have a lot that is saved. So I don't see that there's going to be a big problem reaching many of these goals. If you would come on with us, I could probably figure out whether you can reach your goals. I think that my initial is sure, but there's a lot of variables here. What do you think, Mark?
I think it's all doable. Like you said, nothing really changes until the son is through school. And it helps because she says, you know, even if she goes part-time with very, very little effort, she can still gross $250,000.
Yeah, when you have those kind of numbers, absolutely. We think you can do this, but there are a lot of different parts of this. So I would encourage you to get back in touch with us. I'd love to have you on the air. I really would, because this kind of a conversation begs follow-up questions. And so I don't want to make you guys nuts. I know that some of you are a little shy, and I get that. But I also know that we can do a lot to protect you. Promise. We really can. It's not that hard to do. Got a question? Just go to JillOnMoney.com and click the Contact Us button. And that's the magic website. It's where all of our content lives, and we'd be delighted to help you out. We'll be right back. You're back. It's the Jill on Money Show. And before we conclude for the day, a few reminders. Remember, everything that we do lives on our website, JillOnMoney.com. And if you bookmark that, you will be very pleasantly surprised to learn that we update that website all the time. Of course, when I say we, I mean Mark Talercio, the best executive producer in the world, who has now become the web master. On the site, you'll see links to our 2 podcasts. One is called Jill on Money, our daily podcast, and our twice-a-week podcast is called Money Watch. You'll also see the blog, a link to the book. There's a resources section. There's the free weekly newsletter. There's so much there. I encourage you to check it out. And of course, if you have a question, that Contact Us button is in the upper right-hand corner wherever you travel on the website. It is there for you. Before we conclude the program, how about an email? This is from Mark, who writes, I currently have short duration bond index funds with expected rates falling. Should I go into longer term bond funds? Well, Mark, this is a great question because I know it's a little market timing, but let's get into it. I am very convinced that the bond market, which completely rolled over and was just hammered in 2022 and looked like it was getting there in 2023 is certainly stabilizing. I don't know what's going to happen with short-term versus intermediate versus long-term. What I do know is having a bond position in a portfolio makes a lot of sense for most people. And if it's only short duration that you have, what I might suggest is perhaps you should move some of that short duration into at least an intermediate term bond fund. I always get a little bit nervous about long term. That's very susceptible to changes in interest rates. And I think that maybe an intermediate term might do you just right. If this is for a retirement account, of course, no problem. But if it's for a taxable account, I really would like to hear from you, because selling out of the short term and moving into intermediate or long term might trigger some tax liability. So we'd really want to talk that through before you made that decision. Well, that's it. That's the program. Our music is composed by Joel Goodman. Mark Talercio is our executive producer and web king. Don't forget, everything lives at JillOnMoney.com, and lift someone up. Change your work, change your wealth, change your life. Thanks for listening. We'll talk to you next week.